Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you back. Today I'm going to be going over a topic that I did a lot of research for, and it is about Hayley Paige and her court order drama. So if you need to get up to speed, Hayley Paige is a wedding dress designer, and she has been designing for JLM Couture for the past I think over 10 years. And they were reissuing the contract, and a lot of things were going wrong in the contract. And finally, Hayley Paige decided to resign, and that was after several things that had happened. So those are what I'm going to be going over today. Like I said, Hayley Paige is a wedding dress designer. I love all of her dresses. I watched her on Say Yes to the Dress, and she was always so upbeat and so positive, and I just loved watching her work. And I actually tried on several of her dresses when looking for my wedding dress. In December, there was an Instagram video that came out on All That Glitters on the gram, and this was kind of like a second account for Hayley Paige. She had it open before this had occurred, and the video was her resigning from JLM Couture. And she gave many reasons for why she was resigning, and one of the main reasons was that her Instagram had been court ordered to be blocked. So she was not allowed to use her own Instagram with her name on it. They said, since it's their brand name, Hayley Paige, it's their property, and they were going to stop her from using her personal account. Obviously, that was very upsetting for Hayley because that was her account. She gave many facts leading up to, she has several videos, and has given many pieces of evidence that has showed that she opened the account way before she even was associated with JLM Couture, and her Instagram was curated not just for her design work and for her work through, social media, but it was her personal account to share personal parts of her life. Not only was her Instagram taken away from her, but a lot of other parts of her existence were taken away from her. So she is not able to use her name, Hayley Paige, on any social media platform or any future designs, because right now JLM has said that they own the rights to her name, which is completely and utterly absurd. She recommends that everyone that opens a contract with a company reads through their contract thoroughly, because those contracts, it can change your life in a second if a company were to do this to you. So another thing that happened was her TikTok was taken away from her, and that was because they thought that she was not representing the brand, and her statement was that she was using it for her own business platform as if she were an influencer, and JLM said that they had to give permission for every video or post that she made either on TikTok or on Instagram. So the new contract negotiation has been taking over 1.5 years, and JLM is just trying to take more control over her name and her brand, and they have been bullying her to try to get her to complete this contract with their new terms that she does not agree with. She completely does not think that they should own the rights to her Instagram. That was something that she really struggled with, because that was where she interacted with literally thousands of brides. From what I understand, she responded to almost every Instagram DM that she got, and she personally responded, saying congratulations, and these brides were wanting to share pictures of the dresses that they were wearing, and she would reply personally to each of them. And without her Instagram, she doesn't have the ability to do that. She has her account that is personal, but she's not even allowed to have her name on that account because of the connection with the court order that says that she can't use her name or her Instagram on any business or personal endeavor. Hayley's second video was pleading with JLM to take this away from court. She wanted to be able to have an open conversation with them, and she wanted to keep it away from the court. She didn't think that their contract, which they should obviously have lawyers to read through and to discuss, she didn't think that that should be on a court order saying that she can't use it. And the contract never said anything about Instagram or social media as part of it. So she didn't think that there was anything wrong with using her social media with her name on it as she wishes, because her name and her identity is separate from JLM Couture, even if her name is on the design. Her third video was really captivating, and that was when she kind of went through how her Instagram started and just her personal anecdotes on the account. And she released a Google Drive filled with evidence that JLM never owned her Instagram. And I was really impressed by this. She wrote a full statement with so many pieces of evidence showing that not only was it not in the contract, but that JLM knew that they didn't have access to her account. They had to ask her permission if they wanted her to post something specific. They were coming to her instead of her coming to them. There has been a lot of talk. I did read this quote from the Fashion Law, and her last name is Gutman, just for reference. It says, "As for whether the court will be sympathetic to Gutman's distress surrounding her inability to use her name in certain commercial capacities, including in connection with design and sales of bridal apparel, it seems unlikely. Many courts, including the court that sided with Chanel, have consistently made clear that individuals do not have the rights to use their personal names for commercial purposes, especially in cases where the individual signed away those rights as part of an acquisition." So there is definitely going to be some statements in court about whether or not she owns the rights to her name and to her Instagram. I do think that they will just continue this in court, even though Hayley did want them to step away from that at one point. I don't think it's at the point where anyone is willing to budge. And so I do think it will have to be taken to court, and I do wish her the best. My personal opinion on all of this is very similar to my opinion on Taylor Swift and owning the rights to her music and her personal copies of her music. And that is, her name is hers. Her Instagram is hers. She was the one making those posts. She was the one responding to every Instagram DM, and she was the one curating that Instagram to make it a 1 million follower Instagram. And I don't think JLM had anything to do with that. I think JLM provided the platform for her to start up, but they know that she is more powerful, and her name is the power behind the fame and behind the popularity of being associated with their brand. So I do believe that when they started negotiating this contract, they were doing it out of greed. And I just really hope that they are able to relinquish at minimum her Instagram back to her, because that was her personal Instagram. And I do wish Hayley the best. Like I said, I love her designs, And I do think she's better off being an independent designer. She obviously doesn't need JLM to, be her platform anymore. She is beyond them. And so I just hope that the court order can go in her favor. I don't know if she'll ever be able to use her name again in a business capacity, but I do really hope for the best for her. And it really does go to show how women in the industry can be taken advantage of at such a young age with their contracts. And if you are in the industry and are signing a contract, you need to make sure that you have a lawyer to go over it and that you're doing your best to sign a contract that's going to benefit you if you do extremely well, like Hayley Paige and Taylor Swift. So yeah, that's the end of my video. I hope this was a little bit enlightening to kind of give a sneak peek to what's going on. If you haven't watched all of her Instagram videos, definitely check those out. Those are where I got most of my information from. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Bye.